Hello from Sweaty Nick. I have been in this location for an hour already. I was waiting for the sun to tone it down. What's with the heat? But, we're in the Philippines, so what do you expect? And I didn't bring my portable fan with me, so. Okay, but I do have an hour left of daylight, so let's just do this. Let's talk about what death has taught me about time. We are here in my dog's grave. He passed away 2 years ago. A kid just waved at me. She's alive, don't worry. He passed away because honestly, there was no diagnosis. The vet couldn't give a diagnosis. Let me tell you the story about Tofi Cho. I got him as a graduation gift from my parents. This is a very, very, very touchy topic for me, but I do want to talk about this because I just want to talk about time. That kid was the best thing that ever happened to me, okay? He taught me a lot of things, but most importantly, how precious time is. There is a lot of distractions in here. So the incident happened on a Saturday night. So I do not want to relive that moment, but I have to talk about it, right?
Yes, Queen.
Tofi was with my dad back in the office. It was 7 p.m. My dad was still working. And at 7:30, they went home. And as soon as my dad picked him up to bring him to the car, my dad noticed that he was bloated. My dad also noticed that Tofi was not himself. So yes, Tofi, oh my gosh. That night, we brought Tofi to a 24-hour clinic. When he got to the clinic, of course, he got checked by the doctor and he puked and he pooped. An hour later, we decided to go home and, without him. Because as I said, the doctor said to have him confined right there. He checked up on him before coming home. His face did brighten up. It was as if nothing happened. He was himself again. So 5 minutes into the drive, my dad was like, you know what? Something's telling me that we should bring Tofi home. We did go back to the clinic and we got him. And yeah. Oh, birds. So the next morning, he was bloated again. Oh yeah, I didn't mention. Aside from bloating, he was panting and he was salivating. We did our Google search that night and I did see twisted intestines or twisted intestinals. I forgot the exact term. So I was freaking out. I mean, we thought that he was okay already and it happened again. So we went to another clinic. And what the doctor said was, since he has been panting since last night, his lungs are overworked and he could collapse anytime. So this is a very, very emergency case. My heart just shattered. I didn't know what to feel. I didn't know what to do, but to put my faith in the doctors, that was something out of my control. I left it to the experts. They placed him in an oxygen chamber to help with his breathing. The doctor said, okay, we'll just observe and we'll keep you updated. So I asked if they could give updates even at night. So at 9 p.m., they did give me an update. They sent a video of him. He was literally smiling in the video. I think it was relief from vomiting and pooping again, but we decided to not pull him out that night. Just in case something happens, then the experts would be there to help him. So the next day, the doctor who received him in the clinic was not there on Monday because it was her day off. She endorsed Tofi Cho to another doctor, which was actually the owner of the clinic. T. When I woke up, I called the clinic and they were like, Tofi Cho is not doing well. Again, my heart shattered. I rushed to the clinic. I did see that doctor/owner of the clinic and I did ask him some questions. He did answer, but I did not see urgency in his actions. It was as if it was not an emergency case, but it was an emergency case. After that, I ventured on a lot of clinics here in Cebu. And I would say that doctor right there was one of the worst doctors that I encountered. I could tell that he wasn't doing his best effort. He wasn't expanding on the options available. You have a lot of clinics here in the Philippines, not just Cebu. I went out at 2 p.m. to eat. to go back to the office and pick up my dad. We got back to the clinic at 4 p.m. When we talked to the doctor again, it was as if the doctor was saying, you know what, just don't get your hopes up. They said that they couldn't get another chest x-ray because he was panting, he was bloated, he was moving a lot. You have a lot of equipment in here. You have staffs. Do something. Gosh. There's an insect at my back. So at 4 p.m., the clinic was gonna close. He told me and my dad to go home and get some rest because we can't do anything about it if we just stay there. So, in other words, fuck off. So, when we got back home, the clinic called me. And when I answered, it was another doctor on the line. And he said, ma'am, we are already reviving Tofi. I don't know. My parents and I. The makeup. So when I got to the clinic, I saw Tofi Joe lying on the table, dead. His body was so stiff. That was a very, very traumatic scene. I wish that my brain didn't take a screenshot of what I saw. For me, because I also lost my grandma back in 2020. The worst part of losing someone is the morning after. Then you realize that that wasn't a nightmare. It is happening. What Tofi Joe's death has taught me is tomorrow is not guaranteed. But I'm not saying that we should live in fear every day. I know tomorrow is not guaranteed is something that we hear very often, and it's a lot of people say that. It is actually a lesson for everyone. We have the gift of the present. Living in the present, though, is something that we have a hard time doing because we often drown ourselves in thoughts of the future or in thoughts of tomorrow or in thoughts of later. Oh my gosh! I am not gonna get this time again. Yes, we do plan our days, and that includes planning tomorrow or planning the days ahead. But again, we should not keep on thinking about the future because we have today, we have the now. So we should not take advantage of this time because we are not gonna get it again. So let's say you're having dinner with your best friends, and the next morning you have a trip with your family. Do not keep on thinking about the trip because it's not happening yet. I mean, sure, you could plan about the trip, but you should not drown yourself in thoughts of something that hasn't even happened yet. Be in the present. You're having dinner with your best friends. You're having quality time. And the best gift that you could give them is your presence. I don't have regrets with the time that I have with Tofi Joe because I was present. I did spend a lot of time with him. I did get him his weekly puppuccino. We did a lot of things together, but 3 years is such a short amount of time. When he passed away, I realized that I'm not gonna get time with Tofi Joe ever again. He gave me the privilege to be his mother. It is such a privilege to love and be loved. And same goes with the relationships that I have with others as well. I do not like relationships that weigh the scales all the freaking time. It's not gonna be 50-50 every day. Sometimes it's gonna be 60-40. Sometimes it's gonna be 10-90. You should not weigh the scales every day that, oh, I'm doing 90% of the effort today in this relationship. You couldn't be like that because not everyone is gonna be 100% every day. Sometimes you have to be the better person. Sometimes you have to be someone's help. Don't waste your days sulking in sadness or being angry all the time. It is such a waste of time to be angry all the time or to be sad all the time. Yes, sadness and anger are valid emotions, but we should not be angry all the time or sad all the time. We should be open to other emotions as well. You're in a relationship with someone because you are a team. You are together. So if you solve your issues or you solve your problems, solve it together. What Tofi Joe's passing has taught me is mainly about time. I should have time for myself, time to do the things I love, time for my relationships. If I'm gonna die tomorrow, I don't wanna die doing something that I have zero passion for, doing something just for the money. Yes, we have to get that bread, but we should not keep on working. We should learn how to go outside, connect with others, connect with nature. I know it sounds so cheesy, but have time for yourself. Leave something for yourself. If you haven't seen your best friends in a long time, make time for them. If you haven't seen your family in a long time, make time for them. Make time for the people that matter to you, because time is gold, honestly. It is gold. And it is something that you can't get again once it's done. It is so dark right now. This is a very touchy topic, but I am more than happy to share this part of me because I want to tell you guys to hug your loved ones and cherish every single day that you have.